story interlude. One night, two boys were driving down a dark road, not dissimilar to the one you drove on to get here. And they were on their way to town to go to a high school dance. They're coming down a curve, and up ahead they saw a figure walking along the road. And as they got closer, they realized that it was a girl. She was wearing a long, lavender-colored dress, kind of old-fashioned looking. They'd never seen her before. And as they got right up next to her, they pulled up and said, "Do you need a ride?" "Oh, that would be lovely," she said. "I'm going to town, to the high school dance." "Oh, so are we. Hop in." So she got in the car in the back seat with them, and they talked as they were driving into town, and the boys had never seen her before. Maybe she was just new. Anyway, she was lovely. They really liked her. And they were whispering in the front seat, "I'm going to dance for the first time." That night at the dance, those two boys danced with her all night. The other girls in the high school were getting a little jealous because she was the only one they would dance with. So when the dance was over, they went outside, and it was getting chilly, and Lavender was shivering. And so one of the boys put his jacket around her and said, "Here, you need to get warmed up." So she said, "Can you guys give me a ride home too?" "Sure," they said. So they drove back towards the place where they had picked her up on that road. And she said, "You could just let me off right here." There was a long sort of gravel driveway. They really never noticed it before. And she waved goodbye. They were almost home when the boy realized that he had left his jacket with her. "Mom is going to kill me." He said, "That's brand new. I can't lose that." The other one said, "Well, she's going to kill you even more if we're late getting home, so we'll go back and get it tomorrow." So the next day, they got back in the car and they drove down to where they had let Lavender off. And they drove down that driveway, and there was a little old house there. Never really had seen it before. It looked abandoned, really, but that's where they let her off. So they went up and knocked on the door, and they knocked several times until finally someone came to the door, and a woman peered out through the curtain. "Excuse me," they said, "we're looking for Lavender." "What kind of joke is this?" "No joke, ma'am. We're looking for Lavender. We saw her last night. She has my jacket." I don't know what kind of trick you two boys are trying to play, but Lavender's dead. She died 10 years ago on the way to a high school dance. She was hit by a car. I don't know what kind of joke you're trying to play. Lavender's in the graveyard now. And she walked away. The two boys looked at each other. That's impossible, they thought. But just down the road, they could see from where they were was a small family graveyard. So they walked down to that graveyard, and there were about 20 tombstones there. One of the tombstones had something on it. They got closer. It was the jacket. When they lifted the jacket up, you know what name was on that tombstone. Lavender. All right, next up is Circle of Sisters. And after they are done, we'll have a little intermission. So this song was choreographed by one of their previous members. It's a really fun piece with a surprise at the end for those of you who haven't seen it before. And for those of you who have seen it before or you don't know it yet, it probably will still be a surprise. Here's the Circle of Sisters. Woo!
Where were you in 92? 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 about 12:09. Took a pill, good time all the time. This is how we do next. I took the boys that finds every as Alpine. 2020 about 12:09. Took a pill, good time all the time. Brick Lane, massive, we were like Ryan. Labyrinth, red dance, Maggie's time. High top fades, we ain't never paid. Roll out jeans, easy to say. Sachi jeans, shades and chain. We rolling in like we late. DJ says he's private ways. Keep it secret like it may.
About 10-minute intermission, so 9-ish. We'll be back. Stand up, dance, jump around, huddle together. Just stay warm. We'll be back. Hey, how are you doing? Good.
You're hilarious. She's like, is that right? I'm like, it's like, well, we're doing it now. Yeah, so here we go.